Hi there, this is Jennifer with the Broma Fields, and today is day 47 of our 100 Days of Knit Stitches. And today's stitch is an easy one. It's a series of knits and purls, and it's called Tracks. And you'll want to cast on in a multiple of 10 stitches. I have 20 stitches on my needles so that I'd give you a better idea what it looks like and have a little bit bigger swatch. 10 stitches isn't very many. I am using Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick, and then I'm using a size 11 knitting needle, and I have a 24-inch cable, but you can use straight needles. I just use these because it's easier for me. I will get started. I went ahead. So on the pattern, it says on row 1 you want to knit 4, purl 6, but I did a row 0. And I did a knit 1, purl 1 on my row 0. And when I cast on, I used the Longtail Cast on method. And that method gives you a knit stitch, which is this on the front. And then it is a purl on the back. So I want my purls to all my purl stitches to be on the back rather than having a purl row on the front of my work. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So row 1, we're going to knit 4, purl 6. Knit 4, 2, 3, 4, and purl 6. And knit 4, just keep repeating that pattern, just knit 4, purl 6. And then row 2, all even rows are going to be purl rows. So I am going to purl row 2, and then I'm going to knit row 3, and then row 5 will be an offset. All right, now we are ready for row 5. So you can see how it's working up. So row 5, we're going to purl the first 5 stitches. And I'll show you kind of the pattern, the pattern. So we're going to knit the first 5 stitches. No, we're not. We're going to purl the first 5 stitches. So we're going to overlap these tracks by 1 stitch. So we're going to purl the first stitch. So we're going to purl so it matches, and then we're going to knit 4. And then we're going to purl 6. So we're going to start on that last purl, just showing you so you don't actually have to count your stitches so much, so you know what you're looking for whenever you're knitting up the pattern. So we knit that first stitch, or purled that first stitch so they match, and now we're going to go to 4 knit stitches. And then we'll purl this last stitch, even though it's on the end, which when you're working something, it won't be on the end probably anyways, because you'll have a border around it. All right, and now that was row 5. So I'm going to do row 6 and 7, and then I will show you how I bind off. I don't normally show the binding off, but just to kind of give a refresher, I think I have before, but I've had people ask questions about how I bind off. And I would say All right, so I purled row 8 and now I'm going to go ahead and bind this off. So this is my swatch. I really like it. It's very simple, but it gives some texture and definitely probably block it, give it definitely it would look better, make those even out the stitches a bit. So whenever I bind off, I can get some slack here. I don't use any tension whenever I bind off so that it's loose. So that's normally how I would grab it, but binding off, I just hold it in my fingers. And I bind off using knit and purl stitches. It doesn't look uniform because it should just be all knit stitches. However, it does keep it from curling as much. So you still see there's some curl to it. But it just helps. So you can see the purl there. But it just helps, I'm not sure if it helps tighten it or loosen it so that it doesn't curl. But I would say loosen. Because it's a little tight and that, to me, that just says that's why it curls. So I just knit and purl all the way across, moving the yarn into the front and back. Oh, that was a purl, so we're going to knit. And this is just my preferred method of binding off. There are lots of different ways. And then I like to pull that extra there. All right. So then you can see, so it does, on my swatch in particular, it matches because I did a knit 1, purl 1 for the beginning, and then you can see the knit purl on the end. And it does have a little bit of curl to it, but not like it would if I didn't. It would curl up a lot more. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's stitch called Tracks, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a bit of a lacy stitch, so I'm really excited to learn it. So I hope to see you guys again tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching.